Hey there, this is John Hanlon from jhanlon.net, and I wanted to go over today just a few things that I see on Twitter all the time from companies, businesses, political campaigns, anybody who should have a professional appearance on Twitter, and they make these simple mistakes. Now, I'm not an expert, these tips are pretty common sense, but I just can't believe how often I see these from people who should have a professional appearance on Twitter and they shouldn't be doing these types of things. I always like to say it's like your storefront. You never know who may be coming to your business the first time they hear about your business, and it may be on Twitter. And you wouldn't want them, just like you wouldn't put something up in your storefront that doesn't look professional, that doesn't reflect how your business is. So, my first tip is shorten your links. So I like to use hootsuite.com, HOOTSUITE.com. That is an awesome dashboard. It's similar to TweetDeck, if you've heard of that before. You can shorten the links there, and you can also see exactly how many people, how many clicks you're getting from those links, and it just gives you a really nice shortened link. So that's my first tip. There's also others like bit.ly, bit.ly, or Google's, which is goo.gl. I really like to use Hootsuite because it gives you those analytics on how many people are clicking. The next one is make sure to use hashtags in your tweets. If you've been on Twitter, you of course know what a hashtag is, the pound symbol with a word after it or several words. If you're a business, a political campaign, whatever you may be, find the hashtag, especially for something like a business, find your local hashtag and tap into that if you have local news or anything that people in your area would be interested in. Same thing definitely for a political campaign. Find the hashtag related to your race, find the hashtag related to your state, whatever the case may be. This applies to almost anything. There are hashtags for everything. So go out there and find the hashtag and make sure to use it, because you're tapping into then all of the people on Twitter that might be interested in your content that are using that hashtag. And tip number 3, some of you may disagree with. For me, it bugs me all the time when people who should have a professional appearance on Twitter use texting language and all of these abbreviations, and it does not give a professional appearance. Again, just like your storefront, would you put a sign up in your window? Would you put a flyer on your door that has this not correct English? Well, probably not, unless you're, maybe in some rare cases you might, depending on exactly what your business is. But use correct English no matter what. People do it to shorten because they don't have room. Of course, Twitter limits you to 140 characters, so people use this texting lingo because they don't have enough room to say the word they want. Personally, if I'm doing it, I'm going to shorten down what I say. I'm never going to use an abbreviation. It just gives an extremely unprofessional image. Some of you might disagree with this, because I know a lot of businesses, big businesses like Taco Bell and stuff like that I see on Twitter, they're using this, and I think it depends on your audience a little bit also. Again, for something like a political campaign, absolutely do not use this. That's one of the things where you really need to give a professional image. Depending on your business, depending on your audience, you might want to do this, but personally, I would always use correct English and not abbreviate unless absolutely necessary, but 99.9% of the time, do not use these abbreviations. So those are my top 3 tips on how businesses, political campaigns, nonprofit organizations, anybody who wants a professional image on Twitter can improve how they are using it right now and give a much better image to people who, if they stumble across your Twitter feed, and maybe that's the first time they've ever heard of you, you want them to have a good impression of your organization. And I think these 3 tips are some of the most important ways they can do that. You can connect with me on Twitter and Facebook, Google+, of course, over at jhanlon.net. Thanks for listening.